All right, we are going live. Hey, Live the Fuel fans. Hey guys, we are. You guys are gonna hang out with us as Dr. Megan Cannon, our regular sports psychology co-host, and I hang out here at CoreLife in Allentown. So obviously, when we do podcasting, we have the nice microphones. You guys will have all the great audio when you actually subscribe and listen to the podcast show. So sorry, Facebook Live, you guys are gonna have the iPhone audio because I'm traveling right now, and that's what we do. But you're gonna catch up with us as we have some dinner. Actually, real quick, for our watchers and listeners, what do you got?
I have sriracha double green bowl, or no,
double greens.
Double green bowl.
Yeah, I helped modify that.
Yes.
Double greens, not grains,
double
people.
Greens.
So
I'm learning.
Yeah, I also did the double greens, no grains. That's BS. There's actually nothing healthy about grains at all. It's a filler. And I actually go with, you guys can't see this, but I go with bone broth. And it's because it's so hot, they make the fresh bone broth here. I add ice, so then it becomes a sipping drink. Because drinking bone broth is good for you. I am the weirdo.
I've never seen that done before.
See, I like to break the rules.
I know,
so
I'm impressed.
I've shared it on Instagram. So, well, listen, let's get this thing fired up.
Okay.
Because we, obviously, again, I record separately to give you guys the best audio we possibly can in the podcast world. So, in a few weeks, this will air, and you guys can come back and listen to the amazing audio. We're going to break this up into 2 shows as well. So, because she's a busy person, I'm a busy person, and we just need to increase some content. So there we go. Let me get a test here. This is the behind the scenes of podcasting. Awesome. All right, and let me jack you up a little louder because you're always quieter than I am anyway. She's so soft spoken.
No, just so
I'm very loud. Actually, I did have somebody tell me that my voice is not brash, it carries. I was like, so because you mentioned that it's brash, is it brash? I don't know. Very intrigued. So maybe I'm brash. So anyway, guys, stand by. We're going to do a little live intro like we normally do for the podcast, and then we're going to have a chat. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new Live the Fuel show. So today, I'm bringing back our regular co-host. This young lady knows her stuff around sports psychology. That's right, Dr. Megan Cannon Ph.D. is back on the show. And these microphones are awesome, but we are literally sitting outside at CoreLife in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And the sun is setting, the weather is beautiful. You and I are both hungry. You just left to work out. I just left podcasting in my home studio and then literally slapped together the portable gear and came here to hang out. So welcome back to the show, girl.
Thank you. This is fun. It's a great environment. This is nice and relaxed for us here. Yep. So I'm excited. It's always fun to be on and have our conversations.
Yes. So sports psych, right?
Sports psychology.
And CoreLife food. So real quick, ladies and gentlemen, when you hear this in the podcast show, this video will already be up in the Facebook Live world because we're actually recording live on Facebook. We are multitasking.
We are.
Like crazy.
We are
right?
multitasking.
Like right now, you guys can't see this in the podcast, but you can see it on Facebook Live. Megan's getting a nice tan because we have the sun setting behind me, and I don't have sunglasses, and she does, so she can actually sit on that side of the table. I made her switch, so that way I'm not all squinty. So real quick for the podcast listeners, any of you out there who actually does know what CoreLife is and maybe comes to a CoreLife near you to have healthy food, let's share a little about what we're eating. We just did for the Facebook people. Let's quickly rewind on that. You're rocking some double greens like I am, right?
Double greens, double tofu,
okay.
Some sriracha, some ginger carrot dressing. It's really phenomenal.
Awesome.
Yes.
And I always go with double greens as well. And I actually go double protein. So I got double steak, double greens, no sign of grains whatsoever. Went with their sriracha chili dressing or whatever. Now, granted, without me seeing the recipe, I'm probably breaking some of my NSNG rules, no sugars, no grains, because a lot of people don't know this. Here's your tip of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Don't trust restaurant dressings. They want you to come back. They want to get you hooked. So what people don't realize is sugar is very addicting. You'd be surprised, sugar is literally in everything. So without them posting the actual ingredients of the dressing in there, we don't know if I have sugar in that dressing or not, but I'm willing to take that risk, okay? Because we're out hanging out, talking psychology, we're podcasting, it's a thing. You're eating some tofu, I'm sorry. I'll take my steak. So anyway, let's catch up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see, since last time I've seen you, I ran Ragnar, another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, on the video, she's rocking a new Ragnar shirt. And she's
All
already
about the
upset
gear.
with the screen printer. Ragnar, shout out to you guys. I've done Ragnar in Arizona. Get some better screen printing. The stuff's already cracking already. Really? You got to
Come
use
on.
a screen printer that can handle athletic gear.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it was an awesome race. It was up in Canada, and the race ended at Niagara Falls. It was a complete blast. I think my legs totaled a bit over 19 miles. The night run, as always, is the favorite.
High fives.
So much fun. And then we zip lined at Niagara Falls the following day before heading
done
back.
that. I've been in Niagara Falls a couple times.
You know, it was one of those things where we were looking around to see what existed there, and it was something that was easily there while at the falls, and so. we saw
Are you
some
literally
awesome
zip lining
views.
over the
Not
falls?
over
How does
the
that
falls.
go?
It's on the Canadian side, and you just have a phenomenal view of the falls. You have some of the mist hitting you as well, and so.
Would you say it was spiritual? I don't know. I'm not very.
I wouldn't say it was. I think Yosemite is where, for me, it's the spiritual. Like, you are so much smaller than everything else around you at the base of the valley. That, for me, is where that is. The zip lining was fun, and it was beautiful, but I didn't have that perspective altering.
I'm with you on that because I've been to Yosemite. I've been to Yellow. I've been to all the national parks except for Glacier. I haven't been to Glacier, so we got to meet on the Ragnar and Niagara and zip line. Because I've been in Niagara. It's beautiful. Never zip line.
Now you know you can.
I'm gonna have to go back and zip line.
Put it on a list.
See, this is a part of life, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about lifestyle, like she's sharing healthy lifestyle practices. She's kind of competitive. A Ragnar race for the watchers and the listeners right now. I did my first Ragnar first, to be fair, first and only Ragnar when I was firefighting out west. So that would have been, I think it was second year. So it was 2011 because I already knew the guys. So yeah, it was 2011, it was before the fire season started. And, you know, we got to really start ramping up training, and especially endurance training. And so they said, hey, let's go do a Ragnar because a lot of our PT evaluation was running. Well, there's plenty of running in a Ragnar. Why don't you catch our listeners and watchers up on how much running total is in a Ragnar?
There's 200-ish miles
Pause.
on the road.
200-ish miles.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus or minus a couple. So it's 200 miles split amongst 12 or 6 people. We did 12.
If you're doing ultra version,
Yep.
ultra
So
6.
we did the 12, and so we were band 2. So we had a nice day run, had a nice night run, and then a nice mid-afternoon run to finish up. It was a beautiful course.
You know, I forgot I guess we did name oh yeah, did you have fun with the vans like a lot of people do?
Oh, always.
Did you
yes.
decorate the crap out of them?
Some lights. And
It's
then
like a party,
hills,
guys.
And then you get magnets that people flip on, and so I think for me one of the most fun parts is as you're driving on the road, you get to cheer for the people and kind of bring cowbells out the window and just encourage people on. So that for me is one of the most fun parts, and so I'm looking forward to now. It was so much fun with the team that we did it with. We are doing another one in Canada at the end of August. This one is a trail one, or trail Ragnar.
Is it 100% trail?
It's 100% trail, so it's only 120-ish miles, and with 8 people. And so you camp at the base of a mountain, and there are 3 separate trails that each person will run each trail, but in a varying order. Again, having a day, a night, and then a day.
So I remember I was racer 1.
Yes.
So that probably made me band 1, right?
Yes.
So I opened up the race. And you said you did about 19 plus?
Yes.
That's what I did. So, and let me tell you, we did not rent the 15 passenger vans, which give you the most maximum space unless you have money and you have like RVs and stuff like that. The average person or average Ragnar team that I've observed, unless you can catch me up because you just did it, most people are renting the big passenger vans.
Most people do, yes.
And you'll convert, because you got the big bench seats, a lot of people can stretch out because you need to sleep. So this is a lot different than the marathons I've done, the half marathons I've done, because you're not used to, it's literally extreme interval training. You go out and you run your 8-mile leg or your 6-mile leg or your 9-mile leg, and then you're sitting in a van. And then over and over again. Like you wait, what is it, the average 4 hours between legs?
Probably somewhere between 4 and 6, and then you kind of stretch up. But I think the challenging and interesting thing is when you get off course from your van, your other van is still traveling, and so you can't just go and take a nap. You have to continue to drive several miles ahead, in addition to trying to get refueled and so you really don't have a tremendous opportunity to sleep. I think at best we ripped off maybe a 30-minute nap between legs 1 and leg 2, and then
sleeping.
I think an hour and a half between 2 and 3. So you're running on fumes.
Your circadian rhythm don't even try and have one for doing a Ragnar. It's I actually back then I didn't even know what circadian rhythm was, so maybe that was a good thing. I just know that I felt like crap, and
you get a Ragnover afterwards.
Ragnover.
So tired.
Hashtag Ragnover.
So tired.
I remember that was awful. I mean, especially when I think, well, Van won first runner. I just remember one of my legs, I was running in the middle of the night with a headlamp on through the desert of Arizona. It was very interesting, to say the least. So, I don't know. I mean, so we had a mix of road and off-road.
Yeah.
So
this one was a little bit of trail, primarily roads, just because we were pretty much going all around Lake Ontario through Toronto and then up to the falls.
Nice.
So it was a beautiful course. And it was really,
so you were, wait, hold on. Were you on the U.S. side or the?
No, we were completely on the Canadian side.
You were on the Canadian side.
And went all the way up. And it was neat because the other team, or the other six-pack of runners, so we had six-pack from America, we were paired up with a six-pack from Canada. Speaking of healthy lifestyles, the captain of their team, about a year and a half ago, was 300 pounds. And he decided to go on a massive fitness journey, lost 150 pounds, completed a Tough Mudder, now completed a Ragnar, is now training for a sprint Ironman, and then already registered our team for the 2019 Niagara Falls Ragnar, which there is no even date published yet. But
he's very committed.
Yes, and it was fascinating just having the opportunity to speak with him, and just he really just made a decision to completely left turn his life, and it was so amazing just to see part of that.
So
journey.
You've been on the show so many times now that we joked around before we fired up the live today, guys, and also obviously the podcast. It's like, well, what are we going to talk about? And I'm not worried about having things to talk about because there's a great segue. Sports psychology, and when we have Megan on, we talk a lot about the power of mindset. And clearly this guy, what's his first name, you know?
Kevin.
Kevin. So shout out to Kevin. Mindset right there. It clicked. He's driven, man.
And that's
he's
that's a drastic choice. And he is, and you know, it's one of those things where he also has a family. He actually runs a company, and so the majority of the individuals on his team were people that worked for him in his business. And so here's this guy who runs a company, has a wife and children,
wow,
and also was capable of, when he made that choice, really sticking to it. And I mean, really, he changed his life with one decision to go in that healthier direction. You know, one choice made a huge difference.
So here's a quick little segue, guys. I often hear people that I've helped, health, fitness, body transformation, whatever, over the years. It's very easy to make excuses. I'm bummed right now because, man, that chili dressing with the sriracha, great idea to podcast to go on Facebook Live with. Woo! Anyway, I like to adapt on the fly. I love a challenge. So here, this guy's running a company, building a family, losing half of his body for a healthier lifestyle. And he's pulling it off. And scheduling 200-mile endurance events, helping organize them, pull employees behind him, scheduling events a year from now. That shows his mindset and his professional fortitude right there. Is that he's not just planning this year, he's planning events ahead for next year to keep him focused.
And accountability and that focus and those, you know, I mean, it's so many things that mindset is so important for, and making that choice and that decision.
So 1 to 10, you met him. We just described him. How do you put him on your sports psych mindset scale? Is there such a thing? I don't even know.
I don't, you know, I mean, I would put him quite high up there. I mean, you know, there are so many barriers that just in making that decision, but also the variety of training he's choosing to do. You know, it's not like he's just doing running. He is running, he is cycling, he is clearly
Spartan
doing
races
some
and stuff.
Yes, and he's doing the obstacle course, so there's clearly some weight training in there as well. And so he really is diving into it. And when, you know, I mean, even I think people that are typical, you know, are habitual people that work out kind of get into that groove. You don't necessarily challenge yourself to do other things, or sometimes run out of time. Like, I think there's just so many barriers in whatever direction, but he is just plowing through it, and that's it's a choice, and it's sticking to that. And there's discouraging times, and I'm sure days he doesn't feel like it, and you know, but there's that, I would say 9, not 10 out of 10.
Did he mention what got him to 300?
He did not.
Really? Really? Okay.
Outside of just a sedentary lifestyle and.
Do you still have contact with them?
We do, and especially since we are going to be
doing some
doing
modifications.
some Ragnaring again with them next summer.
So, put it out there. If you want to tell a story and inspire other people, let's get them on the show.
That would be great.
We can even do a joint from the home studio, not obviously here, but we can even do a joint webinar style format if we want to have a three-way type of video call on Zoom. We can do it that way too. You let me know. He's your contact.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important to share some stories like that. This is a real guy, majorly overweight, impacting his future ability to be a great father, great entrepreneur. Clearly did not have much fitness going on.
Right. And then what's also interesting and I thought really neat was here is that gentleman, making all those positive changes in his life, while at the same time helping his employees making positive changes as well. Since Ragnar, you can't not run, and it's not, you can't just choose to do it one weekend. There has to be a little bit of thought behind it, a little bit of preparation, at least a little.
Yeah.
And so, just and I think for the majority of them, it was for their entire team, it was their first one. And so, also, getting people and encouraging others to do something that they wouldn't, which again is in that healthier direction. And it was a really cool story when I had heard who we were paired up with, and it was really inspiring to meet them.
See, I love this stuff. This gets me amped up because, let's be real. People who follow the show, I have no problem getting motivated. I probably have too motivated sometimes. I gotta slow down.
As evidenced by the cup of bone broth.
Bone broth. It is a beverage.
Bone broth shooter.
All you gotta do is when they serve it really, really hot, you order the smaller size. Here's your hack, people. And then you ask for the giant cup. And you say, listen, go ahead and give me the medium, but put it in a large cup. And then you walk over to the ice machine and you drop some cubes in there. It drops the temperature down, doesn't water it down too much, and now you can sip on your super healthy bone broth. So there's your hack, another hack of the day for health.
There you go.
We're talking mindset, we're talking Ragnar, we're talking bone broth.
Cold meat juice.
Cold meat juice, yes. And specifically, it's marrow juice.
Cold marrow juice.
There was meat around the bone before we went there, so. I'm that weird guy. It's okay.
You're motivated.
Well, and that's the point. That's one of the podcasts too, right? Where the live feed is that there's more to life than just business.
Yes.
Okay? That guy realized it. I guarantee you, at 300 pounds, without me bringing him on the show yet, I can't wait. If he wants to come on, he's coming on. There's no way you can run a company and a family as successfully in an unhealthy physical state as well as a mental state, because those are tied together.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of people who have suffered with weight, not suffered, I should say, challenge themselves through weight loss, body transformation for their own personal well-being. Right? There might have been some depression tied to that. There could have been some self-worth issues tied to that. We've talked in past episodes about body image. It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. And you'd be a great guest for your show.
Oh yeah, game on. All right, so this is gonna be a good spot. We're doing a new format. We're gonna try and shorten the shows up in like maybe 20, 30-minute segments and just see how they do. So I think we hit pretty hard on this one.
We did.
You want to break it up?
Sure.
All right. So live feed, we're gonna keep hanging out. Podcast feed, we're gonna shut this puppy down here and then connect up on another episode after this live. So I'm just sharing behind the scenes because I really don't hide anything, and it's fun. So Megan,
Yes.
we usually shut down our episode with some final words. You're so fired up with the recent Ragnar stuff, and Kevin's clearly inspired you. Is there anything new that you would like to close the show out with?
Anything new? I think it's just make the choice. And actually, no, before you even make the choice, or maybe after, just start. I think start. You know how I love how I think it's John Gordon, instead of having like a New Year's resolution, he talks about having a word that's a theme, something that you want a decision or a choice or a theme rather than just picking one specific thing. Because, for instance, with start, that can be in your business, that can be in your nutrition, that can be in your sleep, that can be in your, so I think it's just start, and it's making a choice to start, and it doesn't have to be starting on all the things at one time. Just start with something.
Yeah. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We're not saying you got to go sign up for a 200-mile Ragnar yet.
But they're super fun if you want to.
if you commit it for next year, for example, like Kevin already did, okay, that means you got a year to start. Which means, okay, now that I have a commitment, this is my little hack to add in what you just closed that with. Now you can have your choice of how to start to get yourself ready for a year from now. So I love that. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please start. Just take some kind of start in action. Take action in your life. Health, business, lifestyle, it doesn't matter. I love it, Megan. Mindset is key. The hardest thing for a lot of people is starting. So another great episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to Live the Fuel. And remember, we're here to fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle. And that's why we bring on Megan Cannon every single month. All right? She's a badass sports psychologist. So thanks for tuning in. And remember, you too can live the fuel. Talk to you guys again soon. See that, you guys get to keep tuning in live. It's behind the scenes.
That's what you're talking about.
My recorder's gonna, she's used to the microphone now. I got you trained now. You're a pro podcaster, okay? All right. We have reset, reloaded, ready to go. See, this is it's like behind the scenes. I hope you guys are enjoying this.
No idea what we're going to talk about. So
hold on, let me see if there's anything you need on the phone real quick. I was just talking in the microphone. It's not even recording right now. Great. Yes. All right. Oh, I think we got George on, and maybe even Vanessa. So shout out to George and Vanessa. George Wacker is right in Bethlehem.
Oh.
And if that is the same Vanessa, because the last time was cut off with my phone mount, that might be my future, how do you call that, sister-in-law? It's my fiance's, I don't know how that works. I'm terrible at marriage stuff. I'm just not good at it. I'm talking to the microphone, not recording yet. All right, guys, we're about to fire up episode number 2. All right, good day, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Live the Fuel show. So this is going to be a piggyback episode. That's right, we've already recorded with Dr. Megan Cannon, our regular sports psychologist, and we're going with a part 2. We're going to do a little tie together for these episodes because she's got a lot of knowledge to share. And it's not about me, it's about her, all right? So if you tune into her last episode last month, she was live with me here at CoreLife in Allentown, Pennsylvania. We are still here. We've aired this on Facebook Live weeks ago if you're listening to this now. And now we're going to connect on a second episode and see where it goes. So without further ado, welcome back to the show, Dr. Megan Cannon.
Thank you. It's always fun hanging out and having a chance to chat.
Yeah.
Conversation's going fun direction.
Oh, and I just found avocado in my salad finally. Thank you. So real quick for our listeners, if you haven't listened to the prior episode, we're eating dinner while Facebook Living and while recording a podcast because she's always busy and I'm always busy and it's really hard to catch up.
We're in a triangle of productivity right now.
Exactly. And by the way, in case I cough at all during this episode, I got some really spicy something going on here, like some sriracha chili dressing, and it's rocking my life. I love it.
That's why I go a little bit light on the sriracha.
Yeah. All right, so last episode, we talked a lot about Ragnar, mental commitments. I loved it. So this episode, I was telling you earlier before I came here that I had just recorded with the sexy boss, okay, Heather Havenwood, and we dug into a lot about the balance of masculinity and femininity in or some people call it the feminine energy and the masculine energy. I don't know if you ever dig into this with your psychology stuff, but we were talking about how a lot of that has changed with the new, like I'm Gen X, the millennial generation transitions, the Me Too phase. She talked about the Me Too thing. I'm not really that in depth with the Me Too thing, but I guess it's a big thing right now. Is this coming up at all in a lot of your sports psychology stuff and what you're doing?
The thing that comes up actually the most for me is and I'm more on the masculinity side in terms of eating.
Okay.
Within our culture, you have the large culture within America, but then it's men have to be tough, they have to stand tall, they have to suck it up, push through it, more so than the female messaging.
Right.
And so when you get even more targeted within the athletic population, that message is even louder, especially when you get even targeted into some of those more masculine, aggressive sports, like your football, your hockey, or you gotta be a dude. And so
unless you look at rugby, because I know a lot of strong ladies out there over the years that are friends of mine, and they played rugby, and I'm like, I've never played rugby. I got nothing. I mean, these girls, girls or guys, like you gotta.
Oh yeah, you have to be very strong for that. But in terms of the messages of when you are feeling sad or if there is stuff going on and you are bummed out about things, the message that we're sending, majority of people, it's slowly changing. But for men, there really is still that you have to be tough, push through it, like suck it up message. When in actuality, causing more stress, and that's not a healthy coping or a healthy way.
You're not dealing with your shit, like, right?
And so I think what's so interesting, and I love all of the things happening in terms of like the girl power movement. To an extent where you have, it's like women are strong, and it's no more like run like a girl. Like run like a girl is a positive thing, and so we're seeing this message of strength to the female side, and I think we're really making a lot of strides. If you look at commercials now, you look at things, it's women as doctors, it's women working out, it's women, so there's a strength to this role. However, that stride forward, when we're talking about the more sensitive side to masculinity, it has not made that stride or as far of a stride. And so, it's the women are getting, we're getting the message of you can cry, and that's really okay, and you can also be strong, and all of this, which I love.
That was something Heather brought up. Was like
on the masculine side, it's just not, they're still strong, but just it's okay to go, like we talk about their stuff. I know Justin Baldini and Lewis Howes, like they're a big proponents that are really pushing like the masculinity, but that to me is what comes up the most, because a majority of my clients are men.
Yeah.
And so having them actually be comfortable sitting with negative emotions or uncomfortable emotions and being able to talk about them and what actually is causing those uncomfortable feelings, that's where in my practice I went into it.
Interesting. So you're seeing more of it on the male side versus the female side, or because that's something Heather brought up that when we quoted earlier, was her frustration with the fact that since a lot of young ladies, since they're 6 years old, they're brought up to be the softer, be the sweetheart, right? And you can do that, but then like she learned how to do kickboxing or one of those boxing sports, and part of her public speaking and in her book, she talks about working with women professionally to teach them how to get hit, whether it be physically or mentally. Like a lot of people in entrepreneurship, and this is male or female, are afraid to get hit, right? They're afraid to take that risk, because what if I get knocked down? What if I can't get back up? And risk taking is a part of life. That's, I think, how we really grow the most, when you take those risks, like doing a Ragnar Race, right? It's like, I'm taking a big risk. I'm going to go do a 200-mile relay run with people that either I know or don't know, and hopefully we all complete it safely in a healthy way, and everybody has fun.
Yes, I don't know if you've ever seen the Barkley Marathon documentary or the
Yes,
Race?
yes.
There's this one quote, and I know I'm going to misquote it, so I'll just try to paraphrase, but it's something to the extent where one of the individuals I forget if it was the guy that set up the race or one of the people that competed in, and he said, I think people would be better off with a little bit more like discomfort, or a little bit more pain, or a little bit more just like something in their life that just sort of challenges and pushes them a little bit. Not pain to the extent of we want awful things to happen, but just getting yourself outside of your
outside the comfort zone.
Outside of the comfort zone, in that type of way where, for instance, for me it's Ragnar Race. I mean, you would ask me to do that on a 19 miles an hour, no, but like let's do it on this weekend, and let's push ourselves to do it. And so in that capacity, I think it's so helpful to have that push to get out of that comfort zone.
Well, that's why you're a mutual fan of CrossFit. Like we always run into each other at CrossFit workouts and stuff, because it's like it doesn't have to be CrossFit. It can be any sport, any form of fitness. It's
my goodness.
Embracing change.
Yes, I did a bar class last weekend in Boston. My friend's book recently came out.
That's the BARRE?
Yes,
yeah.
BARRE. So shout out to Samantha Burns and Breaking Up and Bouncing Back. Amazing new book that just came out. But we went to a bar class before her book launch, and oh my goodness, my legs were just shaking. And I mean, I danced for 19 years, so I'm familiar with it, but I haven't done it in so long. And oh man, it pushed me out of my comfort zone so much. And I mean, the legs were shaking, but it's fun to mix it up and to challenge yourself to step out of what you are typically used to doing.
We did our first bar, at least my first bar. Kristen and I went to there's a farm-style combination restaurant, House and Barn.
House and Barn? Oh my goodness, I love it.
House and Barn. So shout out to the local people who listen and follow the show. House and Barn's awesome. But we did I thought it was a yoga event outside, but actually it was a bar type class. So they had everything.
Again, can you please
it was. Well, we got invited by Lululemon. It was all arranged by them, and they brought in the bar person. And then my buddy Jimmy Hirsch, he's a CrossFit coach out of Bethlehem. He's got a lot into mindset work and meditation, so he was one of the extra teachers there at the event. I got myself out of my comfort zone. I do support yoga, and I never did bar before. I'm like, all right, I'll try that out. So, getting outside. Here's the thing. Success tip. From all the speakers that I've ever listened to and coaching that I've paid for and learned from, books I've read, change happens in those uncomfortable places, right? That's part of that embracing the change quote is, okay, you need to get into that place, whether you like it or not. And if it's uncomfortable, it's okay, embrace it, suck it up. I learned that from firefighting and everything else. I mean, you've learned that through, I mean, we all learn that, right? Whether it be sports, college.
College, and even taking risks. And, you know, I mean, I've had 3 moves across massive state lines, you know, from Pennsylvania to Florida to California. I mean, you know, it's even in moves, professionally taking risks, going out and trying a new group and just showing up. You know, I mean, like these risks that we can take in terms of making ourselves a little bit uncomfortable. They can be big, they can be small, they can be choosing a different item at your favorite restaurant that you typically just, I'm kind of falling in the habit of getting into. You know, it's like,
oh yeah, I got you outside of your comfort zone tonight.
You did.
You went double greens, no grain.
I'm into double greens.
You still got the bro on the side.
And
though.
I have to get the cold meat juice. That'll maybe be my.
It's not cold meat juice.
I think
bone
it's
marrow.
A better name.
Bone marrow, bone broth.
Your iced bone broth.
But yeah, you know, if you need to call it meat juice, you
think
do
it's
that.
funny.
I think I would be more of like a vampire if I was literally
I know, it
drinking a
sounds
cup
way
of meat
good.
juice.
Cup of bone broth sounds something.
Yeah. Very healthy. For anybody listening to this or watching it, it's actually promotes a lot of great anti-inflammatory benefits. In my salad, we actually have shaved ginger, and also another great anti-inflammatory benefit. So we try and share a few healthy hacks along the way, right?
Yes.
So I guarantee you were a little inflamed after running the Ragnar. So
I was.
yeah,
Yes.
joints hurting, knees hurting.
You know, my joints weren't too bad. I think we did a pretty good job of trying to stretch out, and I fortunately was there was only 2 runners after me after I would run, so I didn't have the opportunity to have to like sit in the van for, you know, the entire time. I wasn't the first runner, so I think that was helpful. I got to stretch out, and then we got into the van breaks shortly after.
Nice. Okay. And everybody made it through safe, right?
Everybody made it through safe.
We didn't really talk about that in the last
the
episode.
struggle was, and talk about making yourself uncomfortable. So here in Pennsylvania, just in terms of the weather, and I think this is probably true at least up the East Coast, it was winter and then summer very quickly. We did not really have a spring.
No,
so
we didn't really have a
very
spring.
chilly and then all of a sudden very warm. And so this race was in the beginning of June where we had not really had an overwhelming amount of hot days to actually train in. Well, the first day that we had our legs, we were right in the middle of the afternoon sun, and it was exceptionally warm where we were. And so it was everybody's first time really having to acclimate to such heat, in addition to it being the first run of this whole thing. And so every, you know, for me, I know it was kind of like having an extra mile thrown on there, just because my body was not acclimated to heat.
Yeah. Well, that was like this morning when I'm trying to learn how to swim because I'm going to go do a triathlon at the end of July. It's going well, but
So you're getting out of your own comfort zone, or getting out of your comfort zone.
So out of my comfort zone. There's just no comfort there whatsoever. Kristen's loving it. I mean, just yeah. Because she can actually swim. I didn't grow up around water. I didn't learn it. I've done every other sport out there pretty much, and I keep shying away from it. Well, I got tired of people running their mouths and busting on me, so I committed to do a triathlon. I'm only doing a sprint distance. I think I need to swim like 400 meters, but still, I've never swum.
Going from
Never
zero,
swam.
yeah, that's
So, but nice I've been using the shallow, like warm water pool, where the old ladies do their little.
your aqua aerobic.
Sorry, the aging population, you know, do their little foam dumbbell thing. I don't understand what that does, but anyway, some kind of resistance training.
Yep.
So, FYI, aging population, do strength training. You can listen to the episode 190 that aired today because it's about healthy aging and using strength training and lifting weights. That's how you keep your body young and strong. Anyway, back to swimming and out of my comfort zone. Yeah, so I'm swimming laps in the big pool today, but I'm using the kickboard. I got the flippers on because he wants me to figure out how to like time my head to do the breathing thing.
Yes.
Because I have all the anxiety and everything else. Then at the end of it, he's like, normally I don't do this yet, but he's like, you're such a fast learner. And I was like, oh God. This guy's name is Scott too, by the way, so he's just as much of a pain in the ass as I am. And he goes like, all right, well, we're gonna put you down there at the deep end. We're gonna hang out in there for a while. I'm like, we? He said, well, basically you. He said, so swim back down without the kickboard. You know, just you can leave your flippers on, and then go under the 2 ropes and go in the corner. We're not using that lane, and you're gonna learn how to just hang out. So I get over there and I grab the side of the pool. He's like, all right, well, next step is you're gonna let go, and I'm going to teach you neutral buoyancy. I'm like, what is neutral buoyancy? So he said, yeah. He's like, this is a matter of, you need to realize you can't sink. It's physically impossible. He's like, unless you're dead. Thanks. So, yeah. So I held my breath, I let go, and he's like, all right, stay relaxed, but stay straight up and down, arms to your side, and just let your body bob. And I started bobbing until I started like quieting out. And then I felt the top of my head above the water. He called, around your crown. So then I grabbed the side of the pool again because I ran out of air. He's like, all right. He's like, well, you don't realize, the top of the water was right here. All you had to do was this. Pop your head up, and you would have been able to breathe. So we did it again. He's like, so I started doing that. So he's like, see, when crap hits the fan, and he said it will in a triathlon, yay. He's like, you got to be ready to embrace the uncomfortable, embrace that challenge of, you're going to have people kicking and splashing all around you in the middle of the lake. So if you need to like hit the reset switch, let them blow by you, and then relax. And then bob if you have to rest. He's like, that's the biggest thing that he's found over the years, that people do not know how to relax.
Yes.
So.
And that's, what he was doing there from the psychology side.
Yes, let's get psyche on that.
Like in vivo desensitization. And so you're, instead of putting you right into that 100% environment of an open water swim with people around you, it's first of all learning how to relax in that environment. But you've been taking gradual steps throughout this process of learning how to swim.
About a month and a half.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you start in the shallow end, you start doing things, and so you gradually, on a stepwise way, are working towards that eventual open water swim with a bunch of people. And so today you got to that point of getting into the deep end, and he was teaching, when you're in the situation, help you relax. Because having, you can be in that situation, but if you don't know how to relax, it's a problem. And so it's desensitizing you step by step by step by step by step, and that relaxation piece, because you could just stand up in the shallow end, wasn't necessarily a thing. So he's worked, made those steps real time in real life up to that point where now that relaxation component is really important, because those next steps are going to be.
Well, over the past month, his biggest thing was, Scott, on your stroke, while you're stretched out, you must relax. He's like, don't worry about speed or anything. So he was already building the relaxation component, but never had me hang out in the deep end. I was always like, swim over it and swim back.
Yeah.
So.
And like gradually desensitize you to those things that, that anxiety-provoking situation, which was water, because it was an unknown and it wasn't something new.
So let's tie this back, right?
Yes.
The last episode you talked about Kevin, the guy who was your captain of your team, lost 300 pounds. Amazing transformation. Now he's like the motivator behind the Ragnar. He's already committed you guys for next year at Niagara Falls again. He's got his employees involved. He's lost half of his body. He released, I like to say released, not lost. Loss is a psychological thing. He's released half of his negative body weight. And he's really set a new change path for a lot of people, not just himself, right?
Yes.
But part of that process was, he's had to put in the reps. We brought this up on the show before. This is a term that's become really common in the past probably 6 months, is that health, fitness, I just start saying that. It's like, you go to the gym, you put in the reps. Why? Well, hopefully if a good teacher, a good doctor guiding you, whatever, they're teaching you form and technique first. And then the comfort comes. The repetitions get cleaner and cleaner. And then you start adding the weight later, right? Form and technique should always come first. This is something we really coach a lot in CrossFit. People think CrossFit's dangerous. It's not. It's only dangerous if you're an idiot, because you should be listening to a really good coach who's teaching you form and technique. The weight will come, right? That way you're safer and you're better. So how do you tie that back to the psychology?
It's really
the putting in the reps.
Desensitizing it. You're needing to get to that comfort state, and ultimately, the more you do, you're gaining that confidence. And so as the anxiety starts to dissipate, it's also, there's a piece there that confidence is increasing. Our confidence comes from multiple positive experiences doing something.
Yeah.
And so if initially it's, I have to get to an open water swim, well, let's get some positive experiences in shallow water, swimming some laps, putting your head underwater, getting the breathing down so you feel confident in your ability to do that, and that's no longer causing anxiety when you move up to that next phase, which might be doing that same thing, just in deeper water. Same thing with the weights, it's getting that form down, getting to a place that you're comfortable doing it, getting that confidence, and then adding and adding and adding.
So I'm gonna throw a zinger in here. We got steps, we're desensitizing. We've talked about Ragnar running, right, putting in the reps. Talk about CrossFit, talk about me trying to figure out how to swim. I'm like a fish out of water. So let's tie this real quick, and then maybe this will become a next episode down the road. We in the past talked about body image multiple times, male and female on this show. And you've also, I think you and Aaron teamed up, we talked about people's issue with food.
Yes.
And I wanted to touch quickly on this. I think it'd be really round out the episode. Why is it, when it comes to putting in the reps, that's saying, I find that a lot of people can start putting in the reps easier when I'm going to sign up for a gym, right? I'm going to get a membership, I'm going to get a trainer, blah, blah, blah. Now, granted, that's a short-term win. A lot of people fell off the wagon because they try and tackle too much too quickly. I'm sure you could talk to the mindset on that. But why is it that I find that, I'll be perfectly honest with you, the gym, CrossFit, complete waste of money. If you don't focus on healthy sleep and a healthy diet, right? How you're fueling that body. So why do you find that a lot of people, I feel, struggle most with the mindset piece with putting in the reps when it comes to the nutrition or the eating habits?
Yeah. Well, there's so much, we can only take so much craving or so much, we only have so much emotional energy basically to say no, right? To the choices for food that are maybe less healthy.
Okay.
But there's so much more in our environment in comparison to that working out. Working out's like a choice that we make.
Yeah.
But with the diet piece, you may walk into work and someone got donuts in, so it's like, all right, choice number one, and then you go to lunch or something, and there's unhealthy.
Somebody orders a bunch of fried appetizers.
Right, and so then it's like, all right, like number two, I said no. And so we have those throughout the day. In our food, and you go to parties, it's like food culturally is in any culture is so ingrained in our traditions and our experiences, and so you're just in front of it more, and so it's like that person that's just tapping you over and over and over again, where initially it's like, I got it, I'm fine, but then eventually she's like, oh my gosh, fine, I'll just have the donut, after 12 hours of having periods
because
of time.
The energy has been expelled and they can't say no anymore.
You can only have so much willpower. Ultimately though, that is a muscle as well.
I was going to say, putting in the reps, right?
Yeah,
that gets better.
It absolutely gets better. In addition to when you do choose those things with all the research now, and you are familiar with it of how addictive sugar is, and how that ultimately works on
Yeah, I briefly mentioned that on the last episode that a great hack. A lot of people don't know what goes into your salad dressings, right? Like I have some kind of, I already know actually number one, I broke my rule. Sriracha, I found out, does have a little sugar in it. Because it's so spicy, they try and balance it a little bit. Okay. So I finally read the ingredients. But anyway, you don't realize how many restaurants in their salad dressings are using sugar. So that's why they tell you, if you want the healthiest choice out there, find a really great olive oil. And so that's all I put on at home, I have a really good olive oil. That's all I need. The flavor's amazing. Vinaigrettes are not actually healthy unless it's a red wine vinaigrette. That's a better choice. The average balsamic, it's a reduced sugary component that they mix in with the olive oil. So yes, the olive oil brings the healthy fat, the balance of sugar, but I'd rather remove it altogether. That's just one piece of sugar exposure in your life, let alone the white cocaine you put in your coffee, or and again, if you're eating fruit, you already got all the fruit, so you got sugar on top of sugar on top of sugar. Your liver doesn't know the difference. It just sees sweet stuff coming in. And so great, if you're already trying to be healthy by eating sugar, oh, and guess what? Vegetables also have sugar. And now you have all these other variables. To your point, it's an addictive thing. We just don't realize it.
Right.
And it takes a little while to break that addiction.
Yes, it definitely does. And so I think that's why, the choice or the nutritional piece is a bit more of a challenge. When we look at the contextual factors, a lot of times we're exposed
There's so many
to
variables.
There's so many things that actually just kind of wind us down, where it's just like, fine, we're just have a pizza.
Yeah.
And also time and things like work. And there's a lot of that goes into it, which I think makes it more of a challenge. Which is why I love all these meal prep services that are starting to pop up. And
yes, some of them are doing a good job.
to try to make it, obviously it's shuffling through them to make it the best choice for them. But I think just having...
And that's a premium choice, let's be
Yes.
real. I mean, some people run very, very tight budgets financially, and I think it comes back to what are you prioritizing in your life? And when I've helped people start morphing their nutritional lifestyle, it takes time. You be patient. As you said, you only say no so many times, but you'll build that muscle up. And then you'll start figuring out, oh, well, instead of buying that, I'll buy that. So it's not so much a loss factor, it's a replacement factor. So you're still gaining. So I think that's part of the mindset piece too, is like, guys, I'm not asking you to give up on something or lose this from your life. I'm asking you to replace it with something better. And you give it 3 to 6 months. If you've done this, your energy is through the roof. You sleep better. your complexion is better. Like, there's so many other physical representations that come from that. But again, rewind back, it's people getting the start, right? Getting in motion. Yeah.
Start is, it's always a challenge.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's a good theme for the show, actually. Like, yeah. So where we at, by the way? I'm still getting used to this shorter episode format. All right, we released at 20 minutes again, so there we go. I think we're figuring this out.
We are.
We were always doing an hour-long episode, and she's so busy, I'm so busy. I'm like, hey, let's try a 20, 30-minute segment. Maybe people will be able to digest the content more, because that's what I really want. It's not, I like talking to you, and you like talking, but it's like, we want people to learn from this content and get as much value out of it as they can, right? That's what we want. We're trying to slowly change, grow one podcast at a time. One person listening. So, all right, let's sum this show up. How would you like to close this out as a regular guest co-host? Like, what kind of theme, what kind of closing words can sum up this whole start thing or putting in the rep thing?
Yeah, and I think we covered a lot of stuff from that, being comfortable with the uncomfortable and the starts. And so I think it's just baby steps. I know that's been a theme that we've talked about before, but it's just making a small step, and I think sometimes, I even know for me, when I hear all these like healthy lifestyle things, it sometimes feel overwhelming because what stands out are all the things that we're not doing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my goodness, well, I have to do all of this stuff, and how am I going to do that, and all these changes, it's just stressful and it's overwhelming. So I think it's just choosing what is right for you right now,
right.
And making that next best choice.
Yeah.
And whether that's you choose to tackle that in the middle of sleep by going to bed 30 minutes earlier, or you have an extra glass of water, or you cut out one sugar thing and replace it with something else. It's just making these small steps.
Yes, replace the sugar with fat. Fat is good for you.
Yeah,
that's your hack. Fat is good.
It may take a longer time for you to get to where you want to go, but at the same time, what's the point of sprinting there if you just burn out? You may as well make these really positive small changes over time so that you're in it for the marathon rather than the 5K.
Awesome. In it for the marathon rather than the 5K. Endurance mindset, guys. But let's be real. Don't do what I did many years ago, and I started with the marathon and then did the 5K later. Listen to the doc. Okay, start with a 5K, then maybe build it to a 10K, and then a half marathon, and then a marathon, or move into the Ragnar, because you guys can team up and break the race up. The point is, be smart with the reps, put them in the right way, build that muscle, that mental muscle, not just the physical muscle. Great episode. Awesome. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this podcast, again, this is already live up on Facebook for weeks before you've actually heard this. Thanks for tuning in to another powerful Live the Fuel show with our regular co-host, sports psychologist, Dr. Megan Cannon, Ph.D. So again, go back and listen to the episode before that. If you're a brand new listener and you've not heard her before, we've got many prior episodes. I will link them in the show notes so you have her entire show history on Live the Fuel since 2016. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for listening to another powerful Live the Fuel show. Again, we're here to fuel your health, your business, your lifestyle. And remember, you too can live the fuel. Talk to you guys again soon. All right, we're done podcasting. See that? 2 episodes, eating dinner. I mean, I'm excited. If anybody's actually still watching this, thank you. Because we don't do this very often, so this was fun. Are we doing a selfie? What's going on? Or are you doing it?
We can, yeah.
Okay. I can also take a still image out of this video later too, right? We do that too. So again, Facebook Live, we love you guys too. Actually, the reason why I did this also is because then I can extract the video from Facebook and then push that to YouTube as 2 separate videos. There's a little video hack. Lots of fun stuff. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're going to shut this down because we got a private VIP business coaching session happening after this too. A lot going on a Friday night.
So many things.
Yeah, so many things. Just so little time. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, Megan, good?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks again. We also got to finish our amazing bowls here at CoreLife. Love this place. All right, guys. Have a great night.